Hi, my name is Nicholas Bazos, and this is my TBD Graybox iteration. So, moving from the last iteration, I made a few changes just to sort of clean things up, but also add some new elements to the level. So, going from the things that I cleaned up, for the waterfall mist, as you can see from these arrows pointing upwards, those particle systems, I lowered those a bit because they were a little bit crazy, a little overwhelming. So I took those down a bit so that you still get the mist, but it's nothing too crazy. And also something I changed up from last time is that I raised the pillar a little bit because it sort of adds a little bit of interesting verticality level when players are walking up here and fighting in this area right there. In addition, I also added a few props on each of the platforms, broken ballistas. But to go over the big changes I made to the gray box, the initial gray box, is that I added a whole sort of a second layer to the level, if you will, where you could take the staircase up and actually take these planks over to the other staircases or just around, and this sort of provides, I feel like, interesting verticality to the level. And from the players who have played it, they did like this addition where it added a little bit more to that environment hazard theme I was going for with this chivalry level, and it makes it interesting for a free-for-all. And also, players can make the decision to sort of jump off this beam to get into this area because they can see who's fighting there, but it does hurt, but they can take a little less damage if they're able to land on top of this right here. You still have the waterfall sounds in there, and I'll play it just to demonstrate it. So we'll hop on in. We'll take the man-at-arms. Initially, when I was placing the bridges, I had some issues where it would not allow players to go back over because it would collide with it would poke through this stone cylinder, but now you go back and forth real easy. But yeah, so going from this bridge, you can kind of see it's more interesting that we're rising up to this pillar, and this is sort of like the center of combat. And still, like I said last time with the gray box, these sort of serves as vision blockers to not necessarily see what's happening inside this area. And we'll head up to the top floor in a second here, but you can go to each of the player spawns from the bridges, but we'll go up these bridges here, and to make these I combined two of the wooden staircases and group them together. And if we go here, we can see that we have that nice little effect of the waterfall sound getting a little bit less in range, which I really liked as a part of it. And from this we can actually go to each player's spawn, really, and if they're archers, for example. And this was something I would definitely want to address, is that there wasn't really much of a place for archers in my initial gray box, but now excuse me, but now they could be shooting from this top area, or they could be on their platforms. However, they're not also overpowered in this way because players can get to them. And in chivalry, archers aren't really a match in melee unless they really know how to use their dagger. So I anticipate there to be some interesting fights up here, and you can kind of see what's going on here, and if you can just manage it, you should be able to get on top. Yeah, so you do take damage, but that is a lot less damage than if you were to drop right onto here. So there's a little bit of cool skill involved to get down here from that, and if you want to take that damage for getting down, you can have a more strategic entry into the fight and sort of stab down in as you're going down, or just surprise players that may already be in a fight. So you can make kind of the unique strategical or tactical decision to enter the fight in different ways. And of course, you still have these that you can kick people in. And overall, I'm very happy with how it turned out, and I think it's pretty interesting. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find any sort of better ways to get the waterfalls a little less translucent because that's just how the water usually is in Chivalry. It's pretty transparent, but I'm hoping I get across the theme fairly well with the sounds, and we have the nice little particle effects down there with the splashing. And yeah, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy my level.